Hello, my friends, my family, esteemed colleagues. Constantly I'm getting reminders of people with allergies. And I spoke about it. I believe I have more than one video about it and articles. But requests keep coming to address allergies. Please address allergies. Okay, so why doctors do not heal allergies? What we are being given always is a medication to alleviate the symptoms of allergy. Now, what are the symptoms of allergy? Depending where you have the allergies, it's usually on the skin or mucosal tissue. And the allergy, if it's on the skin, it's going to be rash. And if it is on mucosal tissue, it is going to be excessive production of mucus or an inflammation. So now, what is causing the problem? Well, we basically know. It's allergen. We call it allergen. It's a protein, foreign protein, that gets attached to the cell. And foreign proteins have access only to the external tissue. So to the skin and mucosal tissue, which covers, of course, our eyes, and then the respiratory and digestive tract. So this is where the foreign protein can come. And the foreign protein could be from plants or from animals. People who suffer from allergies, and of course, and you have a cat in a house, well, usually they will be right away starting to tearing and sneezing and having problem breathing because of the hair, particles, oils that could be found that even in small amounts, when they come into the body, they start triggering these allergic reactions. Now, these allergic reactions are what? What do we call this? What do we have a problem with when we have allergy? It's inflammation. Because the rash on the skin, it's inflamed skin. The difficulty of breathing, it's inflamed bronchi. The diarrhea, it's inflamed intestines. So, what is the medication that we are being given by doctor? Are anti-inflammatory, antihistaminics. Now, what is this telling us? This is telling us that basically people who suffer from allergies very easily get inflamed. Inflamed either skin or mucosal tissue. Of course, and then there are also food allergies, which we have to separate a little bit because there could be two different causes. So, I have explained that inflammation is forced hydration. So why would be forced hydration necessary when we have a foreign protein in our body, on our skin or our mucosal tissue? Well, because foreign protein will irritate our cell. Remember, always go quantum, frequency. You have vibrational field, and now some other vibrational field gets very close to it, and it is trying to change the resonance. Well, the body immediately goes in action and tries to separate this foreign protein away. And normally the cells should be well hydrated under pressure, and they would squirt a little bit of water like a windshield wipers. Okay, you will always shoot a little bit of water before you put wipers to clean. And this basically cleans out, separates the protein and takes it away. There is no problem. But if you are dehydrated on a cellular level and cells cannot part with water for cleaning, they have barely enough, they cannot even regulate their acidity, which is priority, then they will not squeeze this water, and this protein will be irritating them, so the forced hydration kicks in. So the cell is being under higher pressure, water is being squeezed into the cell. This high pressure definitely cannot do the same, nearly the same effect as when cells engage their osmotic pumps. But it will put a little bit more pressure, a little bit more water into the cell. And when that happens, then the cell can squirt a little bit of water and flush, wash off the membrane. Since very often when mucosal tissue is involved, we have dry cells in the lungs, especially asthmatics. This is why you have asthma. Then immediately they have hard problem breathing. As soon as inflammation comes in, it closes alveolus, and you are wheezing, you cannot breathe. So the emergency mechanism of hydration could be very scary. You can't breathe. So doctors give you antihistamine basically to stop, to open up your blood vessels so the pressure is relieved, and then you can breathe again. But it didn't solve the problem why this occurred. You still are getting molested by this foreign protein. So people who are using these medicinal remedies, then they are stuck to them during the season of allergies. They are always with their inhalers, antihistaminics, and every little while they have to stop actually body of doing what it is designed to do. Doctors don't understand basically what is the problem. They don't tell us this in the school. They just say, well, allergy, it's something, antigen, gen, it's always the same baloney about inflammation, gen, antigen, and our body fighting something, and this is why it produces inflammation, which is completely, totally baloney. It's nothing like it. It's simple forced hydration system, emergency hydration system to solve immediate problem. Now the only way you can get out of this, so you don't need these inhalers, is to load up your cells with plasma, with water. How you do it? Well, by hydrating, but you cannot hydrate without salt. So now we have a problem here. Because again, when you go to the lost people, I have to call them this way because otherwise I'll call them freaks, who just ignore to see what's happening with them and find blame always on something else, not of what they are doing, because they think what they are doing is righteous. And we are talking here about vegans and vegetarians. So what happens with them? Well, they are basically dehydrated. And why? Because a lot of them drink water, yeah, but without salt, without minerals. So they're actually flushing their systems, and they're getting more dehydrated. More they drink, they get more dehydrated. They sweat, they urinate, and water doesn't stay because it cannot stay in the body as a water, only as plasma. And if they don't take minerals, well, they say, oh, vegetables, green veggies, red veggies, purple, brown. They bring minerals. They bring bologna. Okay? If they would bring minerals, herbivores would not need to lick salt. And they get dehydrated. And this is why almost all vegans, vegetarians have allergies. Us meat eaters, we have no allergies. I was little, I had as a child a little problem with kind of emerging asthma. Never need an inhaler because I realized that if I slow down and start breathing through the nose, force breathing through the nose, I am okay. But I got this from the jab as a kid. So, allergy. Why, number one, why is there contact with allergen, with foreign protein, directly to a cell of our body? Well, again, the overjealous people, with their cleanliness, we gotta live in pristine, clean environment. Always wash your hands 10 times a day, use soaps, use antibacterial soaps. Well, you are basically washing off your protection. Your skin is protecting itself with a layer of fat, cholesterol. It goes out through the skin. This cholesterol then gets hit by UV lights and modifies itself into vitamin D3, which becomes then reabsorbed. So it's going out, coming in, it's a living tissue. But now when you start washing your face all the time, and your hands especially, why most problems when we have on the skin are with hands and face? Because of this excessive hygiene. You wash off your protection. Vitiligo, hands, eyes, mouth. Overly washing, and then all those things are toxic. So you're getting, not only lose your protection, but then you are getting access to toxicity because fat repels water. Less cholesterol you have, more water is going to soak in, and then if you have on it detergents, well, they actually penetrate and they start degreasing you from the inside. It's a horrible things that we are doing with these stupid soaps and detergents. My wife gets mad at me all the time. Why you didn't wash your hands? Well, she already stopped nudging me because I can be working on a motorcycle, greasy, oily hands, and I take bite and I eat with my hands and fingers. It's not a problem. Fat is not a problem. Even this artificial fat doesn't do nearly as much damage as not having the fat there. And this is where the allergies start. And how do they come? What that has to do with our mucosal tissue? Well, the same thing. When we are eating fats, well, the fat that we are eating is also protecting our internal mucosal tissue. And then we are drinking, meat eaters are getting all the minerals that they need through meat that they eat, because every animal has all the minerals. And You absorb 100% what you eat, unless you overcook it. So it has to be raw as possible. Again, you don't have to go to strictly pure raw because we are not used to it. So you can sear it, so it on the outside has the smell, the look, the way you like it, but inside is basically raw. So the outside you don't digest, you shoot it out, and the raw parts you completely digest and you nourish yourself. And you get all the fats and all the minerals into your body. So when, especially going now back to vegans and vegetarians, they always follow the modern science, so low salt. So now you are not getting your minerals through meat, you are eating veggies that don't bring you any minerals, or if they do, only when they are cooked, and only certain type of mineral that was available, and now it's less and less because it's all basically hydroponic bullshit. And not only hydroponic, you are talking about even soil is not being fertilized anymore properly. So there are no minerals. So you don't get nothing from the plant, paper that you are eating. And now you shy away from salt. Of course, not the store, the table salt, which is manipulated again. Every iodized salt is garbage. It's manipulated garbage. You need pure, not processed sea salt. Even rock salt, if it's not being processed, it's okay. Okay, it gives you between 40 and 60 minerals and low on magnesium, but at least it's not being poisoned. You take sea salt, you get 80 plus minerals in it and tons of magnesium. Important stuff, huge difference. And stop mentioning the Himalayan salt. We are being sucked right there because we are given alternative, very healthy salt from Himalaya. And we know that Himalayan people buy a sea salt from the sea because their salt is killing them. And all of a sudden now it's healthy salt for us. Only schmucks can think so. So everybody who is pushing Himalayan salt, you know right away they know nothing about health. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And here are your Mercolas and all your food health rangers, and they are pushing things and they don't understand anything. They are following the science that we are told in the school, which is completely whacked. There's no truth in it whatsoever. So, allergy, you cannot solve unless you stop being vegetarian and vegan. You can help by hydrating with the sea salt, with sea plasma, diluted seawater or water with not refined, not processed, not iodized sea salt. It comes under different names. One of them is Celtic, but there is also this Celtic Atlantic packaged in United States, but they say salt came from France. Well, they are mixing it because it's basically garbage, what I have seen from people, what they report. It's too dirty, leaves a sediment on the bottom, and some people get sick from it because the amount that we are drinking is high. So if the salt is low quality, and especially if it's toxic, and from my understanding is that they are mixing sea salt with rock salt and making it purposely dirty so it looks gray. Natural sea salt is slightly gray. It's not deeply gray. If it's turned color, it's from the soil when they are harvesting it. And again, it could be problem. Although there are some French salts, fleur de mar, which is the flower of the sea, which is from the top, skimmed from the top when they're harvesting the salt, and which again is more expensive, and I don't see any benefits from it, because if you have any dirt, any oils and stuff, it's going to be on the surface. Okay, so but as long as they are not putting a lot of soil from scooping it from the bottom of the salt beds, but usually that's not a problem. The only problem is manipulation. And again, companies which are repackaging it try to avoid it. Just buy salt directly from the place where they are harvesting it. So don't focus on the Celtic stuff. Just search natural, not manipulated sea salt. And every country that borders with sea almost has a solana where they are taking the salt out of sea. And this goes even in Nordic, because they have dryers. They have special installations where they evaporate seawater and make their sea salt. Nothing wrong with it. So, going back to allergy, great majority of allergies are done because of dehydration on a cellular level. You hydrate the cells, you need water and sea salt, and absence of toxic elements that cells of your body deem to be toxic, and they refuse to hydrate if they are in the blood. And what are those? Well, they are basically phytotoxins. They are from plants. So again, vegans, you eat raw plants. Well, plant is protecting itself with the toxic proteins. Now you break them down in digestion, but you don't digest properly, because the only way you can break the protein is with the acids, stomach acid. But if you don't eat meat, you don't produce this acid. You eat veggies, well, your stomach remains alkaline. This is why you find bacteria in there. Helicobacter pylori you find there. Now, it's not that this is causing any problem. It's not. So when doctor tells you, oh, you have ulcer because you have Helicobacter pylori, well, he's a schmuck or idiot, because they don't cause any problem. If they would cause it also in your intestines, and they don't. Okay? Why you have a problem with the stomach? Because you are eating the wrong food. You are eating stupid vegetables. You are maintaining your stomach alkaline. It's not meant to be alkaline, it's meant to be acidic, very acidic. pH up to 2, burns metal. And this breaks down protein. Now when you don't have that, this protein sweeps in. Why do you have problems with intestines and with stomach? All this colitis and all this enteritis, gastroenteritis, where does it come from? From veggies. It never comes from meat. Now we say, oh, it's a wrong flora. Of course it's wrong flora, because you're eating wrong food. The food is going to direct what flora you're going to have. So, I mean, I can talk about it over and over again, but vegans and vegetarians, they refuse to see it. Okay, it's like a deeply religious people. Same thing. Completely brainwashed, not capable of seeing anything but what they know it's true. So, when the foreign protein starts seeping in, it seeps in because you don't have acids to break it. And then it's in your gut, and then it goes to your cells, and pew! And here you get irritable bowel syndrome, you get celiac, you get, they invent names all over the place. One symptom changes, oh, it's different name. It's the same garbage. From wrong food, you have health problems. It's as simple as that. When you don't eat fats, animal fats, you don't have protection on your mucosal tissue in your intestines. And then mucosal tissue produces mucus, again, as a defense, but it needs plasma. Plasma needs water and minerals. Minerals come through salts, not through veggies. But you don't eat any salt because you know that salt is bad. It creates kidney problems. It gives you high blood pressure. It gives you, I don't know, water retention. All the baloney that we are being told by science. Follow the science. Yes, follow the science. What science? The crooked, Kabbalistic science. Well, you follow it and you see what you get. You need a microscope to find a healthy person. Everybody is sick. Why? Because everybody is glucoholic. Simple as that. So, allergy. Sometimes we have eaten something that had a protein in it that we got sensitive to. Happened to me once eating a steak. Again, I was doing the same mistakes, eating it with a lot of potatoes and salad, so it doesn't digest well. And then if there is a toxin in it, it passes through, doesn't break down, and then affects your body. And I got violently ill, and I needed antibiotic to stop this. And after that, it was a piece of veal. After that, I could not have steaks anymore. For years, if I would have steak, immediately I got nauseous, my stomach hurt, my intestines start crawling and making noise, and slowly in time was getting easier and easier, but still I knew if I have a steak, I'd rather eat pork or chicken or fish, but steak I just could not tolerate because of this problem with toxic protein. And when did I get rid of it? After I used self-healer's protocol and did deep cellular cleanse. Then cells expulsed the toxin there that was basically causing this reaction, because the body was alerted to this because it has a sample of it and knew that it created a problem. Once, when I took it out completely, well, the memory, cellular memory was reset, and now I can eat again beef, no problem. And this could happen with eggs, this could happen with peanuts. Peanuts are highly toxic. Remember, the most toxic part of every plant is seed, because plants are protecting their genetic material, their procreational material. Like mother is protecting a child, plants are protecting the seeds. So the highest level of toxic elements are in seeds. And what people love to eat? Seeds. Okay? Grains, legumes, nothing worse than that. They say, oh, but when they sprout, the toxin break. Yeah, but sprout you are not cooking, you are eating it raw. It's pure cellulose. Can't digest it. So if you take sprouts and you juice them, so you get juice out of them, okay, you at least get some minerals and some plasma out of it. That's all. But if you eat sprouts, you are wasting your energy because your digestive system will be running, but you get nothing out of it. Zip. Nada. So, again, you don't have to trust me. Try it. If you think that sprout is such a good energy for you to eat, well, eat nothing but sprouts. And let me see how many days you can live on eating nothing but sprouts. Don't limit yourself. Eat as much as you want. Because if they give you energy, they should give you energy. And you should not be losing weight. Same is with fruits, same is with any kind of vegetable, raw vegetable. The only vegetable, the only plant that will give you energy, calories, is once when it's cooked, because you break the cellulose that basically separates you from glucose, carbohydrate. And then glucose will give you empty energy. Why empty? Because nothing else but energy comes in. You don't get any enzymes that your body can use, you don't get any vitamins that your body can use, you don't get any proteins that your body can use. You only get glucose. And you can use very little in one time to energize your body, small fist. And if you eat more of it, just raises your blood sugar, and your liver has to convert it into fat because you have no place where to put it. And don't mention to me glycogen. Glycogen is made by your cells and is made from fat, not from the glucose you eat. We are being told balonies. Robot is preset machine. If it receives high levels of glucose in the blood, it's programmed that this is stress, and it produces insulin to make it available for the muscle and the brain so it can shoot in there and create instant high energy, high levels of energy. Nothing else. It is not going to be turning it into fat in the cells. Only liver will do it. So we just have to learn the truth. The truth is simple. Only it's highly manipulated, so we are kept in dark. So if you suffer from allergies, it's easy way out. Within a month, most of the allergies can be gone. Some food allergies, like allergies towards egg protein and towards white egg protein, because again, you are not digesting it properly because you are eating it with veggies. Cannot be burned, and you are overcooking it. So you are basically coagulating the stuff. Can't be digested. But once when you use the guide of self-healers protocol, it was given to me for a reason, and I'm sharing it because that's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm showing you how the body works, the mechanism of it, and why what we are being told is pure garbage. We cannot follow that science. Pelosi, she can follow that science. That's a good science for her. But for normal person that is not crook and they want to heal, Well, that's not a science. That's manipulated garbage. It's very, very easy to eliminate allergies. Lactose intolerance, only vegans and vegetarians. There is no meat eater that has ever had any allergy with towards milk or milk products. So as soon as you start following the protocol, even if you are intolerant, lactose intolerant, within 10 days already you can drink your kefir, milk kefir, or yogurt, and soon after your milk and cheeses, because you recalibrate your body genetically. It's all genetic acting, because you change the environment. Through your diet, you are repairing your system. Okay, and the same way you are going to repair allergies. It's a quick fix, but you have to be willing to change your habits. And if you are vegan and vegetarian, I have always questions, well, Darko, I am a vegan, can I follow the protocol? Well, how can you follow the protocol if you are vegan when the protocol is telling you stop being vegan and start eating correctly? Yeah, you don't have to necessarily eat red meat. Okay, you can have eggs and dairy and poultry and fish. Although pork is excellent because it's very easy to digest and has a lot of fat. Fat is your energy. Well, you can improvise here, but you cannot avoid eating correctly if you want to heal. And vegetables are not our diet. No matter what even your spiritual guru tells you. Okay? Buddha lived 80 years. Obviously he didn't eat correctly. So, that's where it's at. You gotta understand that your diet is making you sick. And if you are sick, you have to change your diet. And every vegan and vegetarian are having health problems. Not maybe at the beginning. If you are obese and you start with veganism, you feel great until you lose your weight. You lose your fat, which can happen quite quickly, within a year, 2 years, because there is no such a vegan that doesn't eat cooked vegetable, because they cannot survive like that. They can survive only until they lose fat, because they survive on their own energy. And they feel better or great when they switch to plant, because they are not, especially if they are minimizing or not eating cooked, like fruitarian or raw vegans. They feel great at the beginning, but once when they deplete their energy, their source of stored energy, their fat, their health starts going down. They chew their muscle, they become skinny, white, pigment starts going away. I mean, the whole body is crashing. Just look on internet. There's this one crazy chick in Britain, I think, has a fox that she's turning to veganism, and the fox does not look anything like fox anymore. It lost its regular color. It's now gray and white. Well, it's a reflection. We have to follow the programming that was set. Until we change the programming, this is what we have to eat. So, as far as allergy goes, now you know where they come from. And especially when we talk about fat, cholesterol, Don't ever do deep ear cleaning. Never ever. Clean as far as you can stick your finger. Because the eardrum is protected by a heavy layer of cholesterol. There's fat. If you wipe it off, you are going to start having chronic ear aches, chronic problems. Ear does not like water and needs big layer of fat to keep water away. Be aware of it, especially if you have dogs and you give it to the vet to clean, and vet says, oh, we're going to do flush. Shoot the vet. You don't do flushes, you don't do deep cleaning. You do what you go with the Q-tip, and that's it. Okay, thank you for listening. Till next time. Love you all.